Greetings, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a video about the new boxed set from Fantasy Flight for Fallout Shelter, the Fallout Shelter board game. Now, this one has been delayed. It was announced much earlier in 2020. It was supposed to be out a few months ago, and I just got my copy last week, and I don't want to admit to how much I paid for it, but I think I was a little bit overcharged, despite the fact that I've already got my value out of this game. So there wasn't much review, there wasn't much promotion of this game. We've been in the middle of the COVID crisis for almost the entire year of 2020, and so products like this got delayed. I'm still waiting for Fantasy Flight to put out the Atomic Bond supplement to the previous Fallout board game. Anyway, this will be the third Fallout board game. I have Fantasy Flight's regular Fallout board game. For my family, where my wife does not speak English as a first language, and the concepts in reading are above my children's level, that one, we're waiting to play that. It's going to be a while. Of course, I play Modifius's Fallout Wasteland Warfare by myself because none of the females in my family are interested in playing a war game. And so I got this with a little bit of concern and trepidation. How is it going to work? Well, here's what I have to say. This game is awesome. This game rocks. It is a game of resource management. Just today, I had a full, complete game with my family. That would be myself, my wife, and my two daughters. My oldest daughter is 10 years old, and my youngest daughter is 7 years old. And we had a blast playing. Okay? So the mechanics are simple enough that my 7-year-old daughter can do it, yet the flavor is rich enough that I, as an adult, really enjoyed playing this game. Not just because my family did it together, but because it's a cool game. Now, something to keep in mind, and I'll get my face and this right in here. This is a small box. It kind of emulates a lunch pail, except there's no real handle there. But it's really very pretty, and it's a nice tin. Normally I hate tins. I think maybe some of you don't like tins. It works for this game, although I hope I never drop it and damage this box. But I also want to explain to you that in addition to this being a fantastic game in and of itself, it's also a work of packaging genius. So let's open it up. The tin top comes off. Got that off there. And there's the rule book. The rules are simple to read. They're very much straightforward. There's nothing very difficult in there. So, run you through. There's about how to set it up. Gameplay. The rules are not that complicated. You get 4 of these resource managers. And so there's a cute little feature of this game. These represent generic resources, but they become specific when you put them. When you get one, you put it here. There it's power, or if you put it here, it's food, or down here it's water. And those are the 3 major resources you need to manage: power, food, and water you manage in the game. It's designed for 4 players, so there are 4 of these. I guess we would call these dashboards in many other games, but they are resource managers. Each slot holds up to 6, and there are 72 of these cubes, so there's exactly enough for everyone to fill up the dashboard. You'll also see special written across here, which plays a role in the game. Here you have access to the resource cubes. The goal of the game is to collect happiness, so there are 1-point and 5-point happiness tokens. These are great in the game. They have very cute little survivor figures in 4 different colors. There are actually 7 poses, so each one is different. Here you get the scholar, and I'm not sure which one this is. The orator, maybe. Okay. Anyway, there are 4 colors. There's blue, brown, white, and yellow. Then there is a deck of cards. Now, the red-backed ones are the original base to set up. These 6 are your first initial setup for the vault. And then the blue cards are things that can be purchased and added onto the vault later. So I think there are 30 cards in this deck. And 2 dice in the game, 2 d6s is all you need to run this game. There's not a lot of dice rolling, but when there is, it's just randomization, and it makes it fun. Down here, first of all, this is the initial setup elevator, which goes along with this. Then there are 4 player elevators. So each player gets his or her own level to build in the vault, and then that player has his or her own elevator, and only that player can get on that elevator to build things, which is really a cool feature of the game. Items from the wasteland. So in this game, you can actually leave the vault, go out to the wasteland. You'll need some water. If you expend water and you get to go out, then you can pick up things from the wasteland. There's apparel and weapons, and of course my children are most enthusiastic about the pets. There's quite a few pets in here. Here, for example, we have a husky. Okay, and these all serve functions in the game, so they're really useful. We have creature threat cards, which are really cute because they're actually somewhat clear, and they just go over spaces in the vault. So let's say that you happen to roll a 2, we're going to wind up on this space right here, then the threat comes out, and you got a feral ghoul, and so you can't use this space until the feral ghoul is defeated. You can see this, it gives a 7+, so you have to roll 2 dice 6 and get a 7 or better in order to defeat this feral ghoul. Otherwise, your survivor gets injured and has to go to the infirmary. So there's a nice pile of these threats here. I think there are 18 of these and 36 item cards for a total of 54. Convenient standard deck number. Something like that. Anyway. And important is the first player token. A really interesting function of this game is if you need to be the first player, you can become the first player in a round by putting your survivor on the space that awards you the first player token. It's a cute little aspect of the game, and it makes things really interesting. So very often in games, the play order actually determines how things pan out. So in this case, you can actually manipulate that. I'm not going to go over how the gameplay goes. I'm sure there will be people with other gameplay videos. All I want to tell you is this game is wonderful. It's just fun. It's simple. It's straightforward. It is not mechanically complex, but it's really interesting, really entertaining. So I strongly recommend it. Plus, the whole thing just conveniently packs up into this very small amount of space. So you just put all these things back, and you're good to go. Well, that's back this way. Now, one thing I am going to warn you is that even though this box is rather small, you will need a good-sized table in order to play it. My table is about 2.5 by 3.5 feet, and that's about the size of table that I want in order to play this game. If my table were any smaller, it would be quite difficult to play this game. And that being said, if you're a Fallout fan, if you have a family to play with, you want to enjoy the cuteness of this game, I strongly, strongly recommend Fallout Shelter, the board game. Thanks for watching.